now it's dark and cold.
Where is the light?
A year just passed, we now call old.
Where is the light?
The sun runs off to bed too soon.
Where is the light?
And there's nothing but a skinny moon.
Where is the light?
Oh, can you tell me
Where is the light?
Where is the light?
Where is the light?
Oh, the light's inside of me. When it's dark each morning, when I rise, where is the light? And it's dark when my eggs are frying. Where is the light? And it's dark when up to work I go. Where is the light? And it's dark again when I get home. Where is the light? Oh, can you tell me where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. But it's in my skin and in my bones and in my heart and in my soul. The light of life so bright and golden like a summer day. When the sun goes missing in the sky, it's rising in my eyes, chasing all the winter gloom away. But I'm burning bright like kerosene. Where is the light? And I'm twinkling like the VA days. Where is the light? And I'm dancing like a candle flame. Where is the light? And I'm flaming like a fruit flambe. Where is the light? Oh, can you tell me where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. Oh, can you tell me where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. Oh, oh, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine. Let it shine. One more time. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Good morning. Robert broke his guitar.
Robert was going to let it shine. You know, I was singing that song this morning, but I mean, where is the light? My God, we finally got some sunshine. Now, you know, well, actually, it was Robert. Friday night, he said, "Oh my God, it's going to be 15 degrees. There's going to be a sheet of ice in the park. It's just going to be a disaster." I said, "No, it's not. No. And so I got this idea. Well, what if I make hot apple cider and hot chocolate? And I did. And so Mama McGee, the church lady, is giving y'all permission if you need to get something warm to drink. I even brought in mugs. So go enjoy yourself at some point. So anyway, it'll warm our souls. But just being together warms our soul here at Unity. So so glad that you're here. And at this time, are there any visitors here today with us? So and there's Dave. Hey, Dave. So we're just glad that all of you are here. And I really can't fuss at you guys because you came out on this cold morning. And if you want to, later on, just go say, okay, where were you? Because you know what? Julie Gonzales is with us today. And her title is how are we showing up? Well, you guys are showing up, okay? so so that's the good thing. So, and you never know about Unitix. We're going to turn around in about 20 minutes and see several more people, I'm sure. But right now, let's greet each other, and if you want to run into the community room and get a hot drink, please help yourselves.
It's a nice simple melody on this. If you don't know it, you can probably pick it up pretty fast and help us sing. Love is our decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Come on, join in. Love is our decision. It's up to me to stand on the bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. We're going to modulate. That's what they call this, modulation. Love is our decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and
now. So let me see, I'm doing the prayers. We want to mention the prayer box. Well, first of all, let's mention the Christ candle, which is lit. And y'all do understand what that is about. We're all good Unitics here, but we do have some not really newcomers, but we got some guests here. The Christ candle represents that inner light within each and every one of us. Of course, this time of the year in the wintertime is when we really have the opportunity to strengthen our spiritual soul forces and let that inner light shine into the cold, dark realm of nature. It's our inner light that brings warmth to the outer world of the nature. So let that light candle represent that for each of us. We have the prayer box here. We understand that the unity, the foundation, one of the foundations of unity is prayer, using the prayer. And we understand that when we put a prayer out there, it's not so much about necessarily changing the world or as much as it is about changing us and changing our perception and our understanding of the world, of the unity and the oneness that we are all part of. So we have a prayer box if you have any concerns, any challenges, any celebrations that you want to pray. Put them in the prayer box. We'll pray over them here at Unity for 30 days, and then they'll be sent on to Unity Village, where they'll be prayed over again for another 30 days. Let's see, what else do we have? The prayer box, we'll do the statement of being here in a little bit, but so, I really loved the last song because it was talking about love, and I'm sure for those of you who read the Daily Word this morning, the Daily Word was about enrichment, But it says, using divine love, I enrich all I think, say, and do. So, it's really, I love it when we see the synchronicity between the music and the daily word and the lesson, because I promise it's not planned. At least it's never planned on my part. It just seems to happen. But part of what I want to read is when I experience a spiritual awakening, I discover that the divine presence, the indwelling Christ, the idea that contains ideas, including divine love, is the highest and best in me. It is inseparably available within my consciousness, even when I do not recognize it. I love that. Even when I'm in my most, lower state of minded consciousness, I can know that divine love is present inside of me. I open my mind and my heart to the idea that contains ideas, and I enrich my life in every possible way. Using divine love, I enrich all I think, say, and do. So kind of using the theme of love and divine love, I ask you to, let's prepare ourselves for our prayer, and the first step is relaxation. So you may want to close your eyes, take in a big breath, blow it out. Just get centered, throw your feet on the floor, and just your butt in the seat, and just relax. Let the cares of the world go away for a moment. And as you do, I want you to concentrate on the truth of your being, that you are the presence, the power, and the substance of pure love. And say to yourself, I am the power, the substance, and the presence of pure love. I am pure love. I am love. I am love. And with that thought comes the realization as we go forth through this day and through our life, that this power of love will permeate everything we say and do, our thoughts and our actions, to bring about the highest and best for ourselves and within ourselves and for those whose lives we touch in each and every way. Our hearts are filled with gratitude and thankfulness for the love we are and for the love we can express each and every day. So it is. Our statement of being, if you will, please recite this with me. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with His perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance.
Thank you, Travis. Good pinch hitting. Many people went to their grave with ideas unshared because they were afraid. How many people have kept things inside, never shared what they felt because it was safer to hide? How queer that fear should keep us from things we might need to hear. How sad it's mad that we keep something from someone that might make them glad. Oh, cause a different choice to be made, because no voice was raised, because no voice was raised, because no voice was raised, because no voice was raised. What if it's you, or what if it's me, keeping things hidden so others don't see? What if it's only some trite little fear that's keeping our voices from ringing out clear, out clear? That fear should keep us from things we might need to hear. How sad, it's mad that we keep something from someone that might make them glad. Oh, cause a different choice to be made, because no voice was raised, because no voice was raised, because no voice was raised, because no voice was raised. Praise all the people who made it their cause, speak from the heart, and they never gave pause. You've got your list of them, and I've got mine too. There's more than a couple, more than a few. Heroes we call them now to this very day. We're better off now because of their way, because they raise their voice, because they raise their voice, because they raise their voice, because they raise their voice. Won't you raise your voice? Thank you very much.
Good morning. I brought my big book. Thought about Frank this morning. I grabbed my big book, and I was looking for another reference book this weekend, and I ran across the blue book that Frank gave me, that I should have a copy of it. So, you know, and the other, oh my God, I always talk about Frank when I get up here. It's like the first thing in the morning, you know, here at Unity, and it's really interesting because his presence is very much with me. And in being here, Science of Mind, I actually had found some photographs of one of the very, very first events that I did here. We actually did it at Jack's place at that time because there was an issue with the church, so we couldn't be inside. We went over there, and there were pictures of Frank and Jeannie and just a whole, you know, just at the beginning. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Okay, Frank, here we are with the big book, with the Science of Mind big book. The meditation I want to share with you today is from Ernest Holmes. And one of the things before I start, with Science of Mind, Centers for Spiritual Living, January is the time that we go to basics. You know, we just get back to basics. And so I want to share Ernest Holmes' this meditation, A Treatment to Heal Confusion or Discord. And so if you just kind of get centered, and if you would like to put your feet on the ground and just kind of get really kind of grounded. And so I invite you to close your eyes if you feel called to. And take a nice exhale. Get all that out. Just nice exhale out. And then take a nice deep breath in. And just enjoy that breath, that rhythm of your own breathing. Feel your breath. I know there is a spirit in me which unfolds itself to me. And I know that this spirit of infinite wisdom and divine love and perfect law enlightens my consciousness and awakens with me within the personal the knowledge of its meaning, the realization of its presence, and the power of its love and the power of its law. I am conscious that this is universal. It is ever-present being to me and to every man, because we are the universal personalities. The spirit of infinite peace is my spirit now. The presence of that which is perfect is within me, in every function, in every organ, in every attribute, in every atom. In each cell, there vibrates the perfect divine wholeness that I am. The consciousness of wholeness, this recognition of the self, obliterates every belief of confusion and discord from my life. I am perfect peace. In each cell of my body temple is the wholeness and perfection of divine love, of divine wisdom, of divine perfection that I am. Breathe in that divine perfection, the I am, the divine wisdom that I am. Knowing anything unlike it is removed with this next exhale. Exhale it all out. Breathe in the transmuted, transformed perfection of the divine. Breathe it in and exhale. The divine perfection that I am. Breathing it in and exhaling. And so on this last in-breath and exhale, I am the divine perfection of the Most High. And when you're ready, take a deep breath, rub your hands together, and come back into the space. Travis was right. It was all divinely planned. We didn't plan it out. But this letting your light shine, the two songs in the beginning, I love Carl Sagan, that we all come from stardust, right? We all come from stardust. And there's this quote from Carl Sagan: "We are a way of the universe to know itself. We are the way that the universe knows itself. And so how else can God express itself but through its creation?" And so in getting back to the basics, and how are we showing up? How are we showing up when we first step out of bed in the morning? Are we remembering that we are the divine expression of the Most High? That God can only express itself through its creation. Whether it's us, the trees, the flowers, all created by the divine, and it's expressing itself. And so how are we showing up? And it's so looking at the science of mind and has anybody ever read this book? Anybody ever glanced at the pages, taken a look at it? The very first 5 pages tells you the whole thing. Everything else is just kind of going a little more in depth with it. So I invite you, if you don't have a copy of this, just to take a look at the first 5 pages. We're going to go over this because it's just, I didn't bring a whole lot of I didn't bring my iPad with me. I have it, but I'm not using it today. I just wanted to use the book because there's some fabulous notes that I've put in here. And the science of mind, it's the study of being. It's the study of how we're being in the world. It's the study of us. The study of being. It's metaphysics, seeing beyond the appearance, seeing beyond what we see, knowing that everything is spirit, right? If we're practicing this stuff, we know that every encounter is a divine encounter, no matter the appearance, right? No matter the appearance. And so in preparing for my talk, it was how are we showing up? How are we showing up in those appearances that are something less than desirable? Are we still remembering? Are we showing up remembering that we're all created in the image and likeness of God? Are we remembering that what's true for me is true for you? And if I'm vibrating and thinking something of you, well, it's vibrating in my body. That idea is vibrating in my body, and my cells of my body are reacting to that, right? So just for a moment, think about this. I am created in the image and likeness of God. Who's the first person that pops in your mind? Outside of yourself. That person is created in the image and likeness of God. Science of mind is based on truth principles. It's based on what's true for me is true for you. If we're looking at law, we're looking at principle. It's got to be true for all of us. It cannot be true for some of us and not true for others. Unlike the laws that are on our legal books, depending on who you are, what you have, those laws kind of change a little bit. May not apply to this person and that person. They might apply differently, even though they're to be applied the same way. So the science of mind, the universal principles that are biblical teachings, and in any of the truth books that we're looking at, whether it's the Quran, the Buddhist teachings, whatever teachings we're looking at, if we're looking at principle, it applies to all of us. Everything else may be filler in there. But it's all, if we're looking at principle. The universe plays no favorites. There are no favorites. We speak our word, the thoughts that we think, They're a law unto themselves. In the book of Isaiah, my word shall go forth, and it shall not return to be void, but be complete in the matter for which it is sent. And so whether these words are spoken out loud, so it's audible, everyone can hear it, or they're the prayers that we're walking around with in our minds. And so the invitation is when we're walking around and we're thinking all the time, right? We don't stop the thinking process. You know, some people are thinking out loud and they're thinking, oh, they're talking to themselves. But we're always in the thinking process. These thoughts that we're thinking are prayers. Right? That divine essence and presence is always with us, is us. That there's absolutely no separation between that thing itself. Ernest Holmes calls it the thing itself. And there was a talk, Ernest Holmes I was listening to one of his talks years ago, and the thing that struck me is that there was this woman who, during one of Ernest Holmes' lectures, she went to him and she said, would you stop calling it God and call it something else? My husband's a scientist, and he'd come to listen to you, but you use the word God, so he's not coming. And he says, well, if I call it potato, he'll know what I'm talking about. So whatever you want to call it. So Ernest Holmes calls it the thing itself. Itself. Myself. So at S, itself, capital S, we look at, oh, I'm going to go to the store by myself. I'm going with the divine. Myself is the divine in me. And when I say that, it's true for all of us, right? That divine essence and presence that is within you, that breathes you, that moves you, that every system, every function of your body is vibrating. And we have our subjective mind, that we have the choice, our free will, to use our mind as we please. When I was working in California, there was this quote that I'm not sure if my boss gave it to me, but it's watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Watch your words, for they become your actions. Watch your actions, for that becomes your habits. Watch your habits, for they become your destiny. And that may not be the exact quote on it, but it's pretty darn close. And so we have free will over our thinking. And Ernest Holmes tells us it sounds simple, control your thinking, control your life, right? Control where you're going. But how we become habitual in our thinking, it's not easy to change that. I know I've had recent experiences. It's like, well, why did you do that? It's like, well, it was that thinking that I got caught up in, and, that was my lesson. Can we catch that and look for the good in all our experiences, no matter the appearance? Whether someone has come into our lives or has left our lives or something has happened, can we look for the plus in all of the experiences? And when we can look at the plus in every experience that we have, no matter the appearance, that changes the vibrational tone of what's going on in our bodies. And the vibrational tone that's going on in our bodies has a direct correlation on how we're feeling, how the cells of our body are reacting. The cells of our bodies react to our thinking. There was this, and I probably have mentioned this great book that I never read, but I love the title. So I've never gotten rid of the book because it's just like a great book for a reminder. Your body believes every word you say. Who else is it going to believe? You could tell someone, oh, they're great, they're blah, 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 give them all of these wonderful aspects of themselves. But if they don't believe it, what are they going to be telling themselves while you're saying that? And so, here's a great tip. Ernest Holmes' practitioner, she used to audibly say, "That ain't so." So anytime when she was in a practitioner session, and people would be telling her their stuff, she's like, "That ain't so, that ain't so, that ain't so." She was knowing the truth of their being. So as we move in the world, as we show up, and our friends are telling us the woe story, we could know in our minds, in our hearts, that's not the truth of your being. That is the experience. That's what you experience. Jesus says, "Judge not by appearances." Sometimes things happen in our lives that get us to another place, another doorway. You know, my mother was great at always telling me, "Oh, when one door shuts, another one's going to open up." You know, she was like really good at just like shutting it down. Shut it down. Yeah, the next door is going to let that go. What's that for? Yeah, just shut it down. But open the next door. But if we're still looking to try to open this door, pick the lock, right? Have you ever tried to pick the lock on a door that already shut? It's just like, I shared a couple of months ago that my house was broken into, and I found myself saying, "Well, what?" And I mentioned this to Will. Can I put an ad in the paper? Return. Hard drives and computer, no questions asked, reward. I'm like, is that picking the lock and just let it go? If it's going to come back, it's going to come back. Sometimes things are difficult to let go. They're difficult to let go of. But we're at free will. We have choice. The subjective mind. And how we use that is our personality. It's the divine expressing itself. We're at choice, always at choice. I'm going to exhale on that one because it's not always easy. Who has an easy button? Nobody has an easy button. Two, I got an easy button. Okay, Jeannie. That was easy. Staples has an easy button. Yeah, and I have clients who use their easy button. I'm like, go get yourself an easy button. Because some of the things that we find that are difficult become easy if we shift our paradigm, we shift our thinking, we shift that habit. And then you can go and put it on the counter and press the easy button. You could use the easy button for lots of things. Oh, I did the dishes, that was easy. But they're like $5. And they even have one, I bought one for my boss a few years ago, this woman I was working for, and it even had it in different languages. So so you can learn a new language, easy in different languages. But so this stuff becomes easier with practice. And that's what this stuff is, right? It's a practice. How we show up in life becomes a habit, right? It becomes a habit. How I show up every single day doing the same stuff. Here's another quote my boss used to say at the beginning of every sales meeting. He would say, wanting to do the same thing, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is a form of insanity. Those are his couple of his quotes that he used to give us. But so if we want to change things that are happening in our lives that are not desirable, where do we need to start? With our thinking. I recently had a conversation with a friend of mine who his relationship shifted, and I'm like, well, look at the plus of it. She helped you get across the street. Sometimes that street that someone is holding our hands in life, that we're walking with a season, a reason, a season, or a lifetime, there could be that reason that we needed to cross this big street. And we needed someone to walk with us for that moment in time. And now it's like, okay, I got to go this way now, and you're going to go that way. But that's how we see that. We can fight that, or we can breathe it in and say, yes, I'm on to a new adventure. And life is an adventure. Are we showing up every day as life is a new adventure? This is a new day. My sister recently moved back to Malvern, and so now I have my sister, my oldest playmate, to play with, and I love it. I love it. Find somebody to play with. If you don't have a playmate, it's like play date. Play. Right? Last time I was here, we talked about childlike faithfulness and childlike playfulness. And Jeannie talked about joyful resilience. How do we get there? With our thinking. Is there somebody that you've been thinking about that you want to go have lunch, go walk around the park with, going to Pinnacle Mountain? When I heard that, I'm like, Pinnacle Mountain. Well, Pinnacle Mountain. It's like this thing with my sister. I just want to share this bit with you, that I had an experience of being loved. And I watched this experience of love. I watched it with Will and his brother. I watched the attentiveness of two men, big brother, younger brother, and where there was just this love. This big brother just loved his younger brother, and it was just this acceptance and the storytelling, and it was just all coming in, and it was like, wow, how nice to have somebody that pays attention to you like that. That deep attention, affection, of not wanting anything back. My sister was over, and she was sitting there at the table, and I'm playing in the kitchen. I love to play in the kitchen. Cook some mushrooms. I've been looking for my new love is mushrooms, finding mushrooms. And my sister sat there, and as I'm moving around the kitchen and talking and stuff, she just sat there, and she listened. And she took a picture of me, and then she just listened. And I walked away from that. After she went home, I thought, wow, I was loved up in a way that indescribable. And that was the divine showing up as my sister. And so as we look around and we engage, last time I was here, we talked about prayer calls. You're still doing prayer calls? And the texting, prayer texting, calling each other. Is that happening? Are you doing that? Have you gotten engaged in that? Yes? I saw just a couple. Some people are, some not. Yes, it's a good reminder, and that's all we're here for. Whether the experiences are good, bad, or indifferent, we're here to remind each other of what we already know. And so when we have those experiences that are pleasant, it's a reminder of how loved I am. And if we have those experiences that aren't so pleasant, it's a reminder to know how loved I am. If I could see this experience and pull the good out of it, can I pull the good God out of every experience that I'm having? It's not easy. And it could be painful sometimes. But can I pull the good God? Emma Curtis Hopkins, who was the teacher of Ernest Holmes, the teacher of the Fillmores, the teacher of Nona Brooks, Divine Science, Unity, and Science of Mind. Emma Curtis Hopkins says God's other name is good. So can we pull the good God out of every situation? And those situations that are bleak, that don't feel very good, it could be some of the political climate that we're experiencing. Can we pull the good out of it? Can we search with our light? We're stardust. And if, like the mycelium of mushrooms, where mushrooms grow, this is perfect. So the mycelium, which is like the root system of the mushrooms, they just grow everywhere, right? They grow underground, and when the condition is right, the mushroom pops up, the fungi pops up. So if we look at the stardust as our mycelium beings, right? When the condition is right, and the condition is right now, because we're reminding each other that we are it, that light, the music that we sang about, the light is ready to pop out and expand its light. We can just turn up the rheostat, right? Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn up the rheostat. Let the mycelium, that analogy, right, of the mushroom and the light of what we are, who we are, the divine expression of the Most High, the light, let it shine. Let it shine. Show up bright. Show up bright. Pass that wick. Pass the wick so someone else touches that light. So with that, I'd just like to invite you to close your eyes. And as you know, the light is your being. You are the light. And so as we realize and recognize and knowing the truth of our being, that we are it, that there's no substitute for being it. There's no substitute for showing up any other way than in our highest and most holy way. And I claim and affirm that right here and right now that we acknowledge it, that I am the light. Breathe that in. I am the light of God. I am the light of the Most High. I am it. I claim and affirm that at this moment in time that we recognize it, we acknowledge it, that we believe it, that every cell of our bodies, as we breathe it in and we say it to ourselves, I am the light of God. I am the divine expression of God, that every single cell of the body is vibrating. Imagine in your mind's eye the cells of your body temple believing, recognizing, acknowledging, I am created in the image and likeness of God. I am expressing the divine. I am one with the one. There is absolutely no separation. And as I know this for myself, I know this for each and every person that sees me, that I see, that I think about, is a divine expression of the Most High. Affirming this, I am the love of God. I am it. Oh, I say thank you. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. Divine essence and presence, knowing that this word that I speak goes forth and it does not return to me void, but it is complete in the matter for which it is sent. And it is sent knowing that it is love that guides the way. And it's the law that makes it happen. And claiming this and affirming this, I say thank you. I let go and I let God, and so it is. Amen.
We are love, we are joyfully resilient, we are light. And now we give. So let's bring our offering down. Bless. This new year we give and we remember, let us say together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
So I don't know if anybody else but me is now picturing a mushroom when it pops up with a little party hat on it because it's a fun guy, right? Just me. I picked the music today because tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day. I didn't know what Susan's talk was going to be about, but it turned out that the music is appropriate to talk about. And if anybody, I don't know anybody else that showed up in my lifetime if Martin Luther King was the guy who showed up. So this is a tribute to him. A powerful story about a man who stood in his truth with such conviction in who he was. He would not be moved. Some man stepped out of the crowd and asked him, "Are you Martin Luther King?" He said, "Yes, I am." And a well-dressed man spit on him. Then King took out his handkerchief and wiped the hate from his suit. He gave it back to the man and said, "I believe this belongs to you. I will lift you up and do what I can do. I see your heart, I know your pain, I have been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. But I am clear who is standing here. I believe this belongs to you." Take it, Robert. I once said,
I once had a powerful story. I used to carry around. I thought it was you. All this time I held my spirit down. But now I know the truth of who I came to be. You are my angel in disguise, not my enemy.
so I thank you for the part you played in this dance we had to do. I give you by your own true love. I believe this belongs to you. I will lift you up and do what I can do. I see your heart, I know your pain, for I have been there too. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. I give you back your freedom now. I believe it belongs to you. I will hold you high while you do what you have to do. I give you back your old true love. I believe it belongs to you. I am clear as we're standing here. I believe this belongs to you.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad you chose that. Oh, wow. Thank you, Tam. I'm so glad you chose that one. Oh, there's that. Oh, okay. A lot going on in here at the end of January coming up. Well, for next week is Potluck Sunday, and I'm understanding that it's going to be Mardi Gras theme. Oh, that has a lot of possibilities for good food. So be thinking on that. And then after Potluck, we're going to start with our Unity Foundations or Fundamentals class that Colleen Brown is teaching. She's really a treasure in Unity. And I just love it when she's willing to give something to us, because we need to hear that treasure for ourselves so that we can keep a legacy going on. And I think we'll all enjoy being together. And it's going to last for 4 Sundays, but if you can just start it, see if you can stay after a good lunch and start that next week. She is going to be our speaker on Sunday as well, so that will be fun, and she and PJ will both be here, PJ the dog. So, and then last Friday night, raining like cats and dogs, but did we ever have a great show here at Unity. Sounds of Unity was here. So I know that that's like talking about something behind us, but y'all, every month we have this fabulous concert here, and we had a really good crowd for a rainy night. So I just want to keep reminding you of that. It's a wonderful show. And I did get the newsletter out and told you a little bit more about what's been going on with the board. We are going to be filling some vacancies on the board, and there are applications available until February 2nd. So that deadline is coming up, and some of you might get tapped on the shoulder and say, have you considered? So don't be surprised about that. So I think with that, let us just come together in our circle.
Presence of God, and wherever we are. Let